Happy Wednesday. It's Josh here, 94 Pokey Jackson. It is hump day. Today, I'm going to be going over a little bit of the Palworld rarities to kind of clear up some of the things I talked about a couple days ago. Talk about some things I'm getting in, where my mindset's at. Yeah, what's going on with distribution. Not a whole lot, just kind of cover some details. But we're going to go through this rarity list just to make sure. I hit most of the high points on it on the last video. Pretty right. There was only a couple I wasn't sure what they were, but I got them all right here, so we're gonna go through the list. So as normal, a common, a C, uncommon is a U, R is a rare, double R is double rare, SR is a super rare, and OSR is an official shop rare or over super rare. So what I think those are, and I could be wrong, but my opinion, my thought is those are cards that are given to brick and mortars and promo cards per se, even though there is a PR code for promo card. So I could be wrong. The OSRs could easily be in the box. It says 15 parallel and printings, premium foil version. So I could be wrong. It just kind of feels like a official shop rare. Maybe comes from a brick and mortar. I could be wrong. So please, somebody in the comments correct me if I'm wrong on that one. So I get educated. SP is a special or super parallel. Double SP is a super special parallel, and a triple S is a super secret special, which is the one gold card I think that is in this set. It was introduced in in the first set of this Palworld, and according to what this says on eBay, one sold for $4,000. So, and I'm assuming that's raw. I'm pretty sure that hasn't even gone through PSA yet, but just kind of going off what that is saying is that, hey, that's a $4,000 rarity card, the triple S, and then a double SP, one sold between $900 and $1,400. That is wild. Brand new TCG. I don't, I think a lot of people didn't gamble on this being so successful. I put max orders in to build my spin, and my allocations were cut dramatically. I got 2 cases. That's it. That is 24 boxes. And the last couple of days, I've had so many people notify me when when it's restocked, or notify me when in stock, and it's heartbreaking that I'm not going to be able to provide that much to these folks. I'm selling for $64.99, on distribution site. It doesn't give you a set MSRP. So I kind of came up with an arbitrary one that seemed fair to kind of make up some of the costs that, like I said, you got the credit card fee, you have the Wix processing fee, eat some of the shipping. I think I have shipping for $8 and I'm selling the boxes for $64.99. So I make a small margin that goes right back into more spin at distribution. So that kind of covers, where I left off in Palworld. And I just wanted to touch base on those rarities so everybody has a full painted picture of what those rarities are when they see them. Like I said, it's very similar to other Bushiroad cards like Weiss and Hololive, all those kind of card games that have this type of rarities. Now I'm going to talk about first partner illustration collection case. So I have one case that is coming from my second distributor, and typically I sell that at close to market. I have mine listed right now for $284.99. It's free shipping, double boxed. I have the one and only. I have it up for pre-order right now. I do have, just kind of based off of this right now, the asking price is $295. Definitely some market manipulation. There's been 3 sales so far, and I'll pull up that data. But with those 3 sales, one was back in June for $599, one in July for $478, and then another, which was today, for $295. So that kind of built the benchmark. That market price of $458, that is inflated and absolutely, definitely manipulated. There ain't no way in heck that this would sell for $458. I can see maybe down the road, but especially not Series 3. Series 1, I can see is selling for a high value as a sealed case because it has the 3 OGs, Charmander, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur. And then the Bulbasaur, you had the little Pikachu hiding in the back, the Forest Chew. So, yeah, I just yeah, $458 doesn't make sense to me. I would not pay that. Yeah, except the benchmark, the good benchmark is 295 right now on my site. I have them for 284.99. It's that B1 box, only one seal case. It should be here tomorrow, Friday at the latest. I'm saving you $10. I'm paying for your shipping, and it comes double box for those who have ordered from me before that bought cases. I always double box everything to make sure if you're a seal collector, it is sealed. But that is your premium collection box. I wish. First partner illustration collection case. Now I'm going to go into the first partners. So Series 3, this individual one. So I will be getting these from distribution either Thursday or Friday. I am getting 12, which is 2 cases. Those will be broken down, and they will be sold for $29.99 plus shipping. Current market value is $48.98. Yes, my price is a little bit higher than MSRP, but I am making up for spend. I have put a lot of money into distribution this last month. I tried something new. I tried out Warhammer 4K, 40K. Did not pan out very well for me. I just don't have the niche, maybe not enough background knowledge. I know it's a very popular, not board game, but RPG, or as Birdie would say, Game Piece Army. Wow, I cannot talk today. But that is where I'm sitting at. So $29.99 plus shipping. I'm still saving you a good chunk of change. Market price right now is $48.98. And we'll look at the data for Series 3. So today alone, on the 5th of August, it is, they've been selling for $48, $48, $48, $49, $49, $48, $49, $49, $49, $49. Pretty consistent throughout the day of $49 and $48. Even going back into the 4th of August, which the highest was $51. And we'll pull up the 1 month chart real quick just to look at the 1 month. It looks like some sold back in July for $88. That was probably a pre-sale. $87, $86. These are all like pre-sale. Super high. I personally would not pay for that, but hey, if you're a ripping shipper and that's kind of your thing, I guess it works out for you. I can't speak to that. And then as time clicked down, you can see it started to decrease, and it's going in the direction I would figure it would go. I don't foresee the market price staying at $48. My opinion, it'll probably bottom out around 39, based off of Series 2. You know what? We'll take a look at Series 2. But the most reputable seller right now on there with 10,000 sales is $48.95. But we'll pull up Series 2, and we'll see what that one's sitting at right now. See if I was kind of in the ballpark. It says like 39. Well, I was way up 32. I was way off. Excuse me. But they're sitting around 32, 22. 73 of those are sold. Let's pull up the data to check a gander. So, recent sales, 33, 33, 33, 33, 33, 33, 33. A couple at 29, 34. So it's kind of bouncing around between the lowest I see is 29, the highest looks like 34. Oh, wow, there was one that sold for 38. So the highest looks like was 38. But I was way off. I was thinking it was still sitting around 39. That definitely was not the case. I haven't looked at this in a while. I guess the last time it was sitting around 39 was in July, toward the end of July. So I do apologize for that. I was way off my rocker there. All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit about Storm Emeralda. I still have not found that sweet spot where I feel comfortable buying. When I looked at this morning, market price was around 181. Now it's back up to 190. And in my thought, I cannot foresee buying a Japanese booster box that costs as much as an English booster box at MSRP. I know what the MSRP in Japan is. It's roughly around $59, give or take. And we're paying way over that right now. I don't know what's going on in Japan. I don't know what's going on with Japanese suppliers. They're secondary suppliers. But we're feeding into it. So if we continue to buy things at a higher price, they're going to keep on jacking the price up. Now I get it. The chase card is, Mega Rayquaza. I got it. It's a big chase card. I would expect a higher price, but a market price of 190, I would have to sell it. If I can get it for 160, everything shipped here, 160, per box, I would have to add like 14 bucks on there to maybe make a dollar, $2 margin, with shipping and everything else. Cause like I said, like I'm here in Rhode Island, me shipping to San Diego typically is like 12 bucks and I charge between $8 to $10 on shipping. So I'm always eating $4 to $2, $4 to $2, depending on location. It is what it is. So I have to factor those margins in. So, when I get these other TCGs from distribution, I try to factor all that in. I try to make the price as fair as possible. Yeah, because I'm not here to make $1 million. I'm here to break even or make a few bucks to keep on adding spin. That's the goal. Is like I have this pot of money. Like I have a little bit of pot of money for Japanese, which I'm not entertaining right now with the current Rayquaza set. I don't know how many people would buy it for 169, 179. I did a little poll on my Instagram, and I seen where some people voted on it and told me kind of where they would feel comfortable at. I personally just don't feel comfortable. I think it's a higher risk because I can buy it for, let's say, 170 today, and then somehow the market price drops down to 150. Well, then I'm out, 20 bucks, right? 170, 150 is $20. So I already lost $20 there. So you have to be careful. Like I said, I try to wait a week, 2 week cool down. It's like I said, we're creating our own demon here. If we continue to buy it at this price, they could see TCG player over there. So they're like, oh, okay, we'll keep on higher in our price. And that it creates a vicious cycle. So just keep that in thought in your mind. If you can wait 2 weeks, you're going to do everybody a favor, in my opinion. That's my humble opinion. But like I said, $190 for Japanese booster box. That's more than an English booster box MSRP. My mind is blown, but each your own. Just not a good move for me. For Chinese, I did get some more Chinese orders, so that will come. That's relatively cheap. I don't sell this for a high, literally, a dollar or two margin. That's all I'm trying to get. And those $1 to $2 I get goes right back into spend, right? And I talk about spend a lot, right? So, I've had distribution for 2 years, and how you get more Pokemon allocations or, the allocations of things that people want more of is spend, right? So, the cookie run, which has done very well for me. I will not complain. The cookie run thing is a thing. Like it's a big niche and it's huge. It's done really well for me. My Little Pony's done so. I bought some of the K-pop Demon Hunter. That one didn't do so hot. Then Ultraman, that one has done so hot. So, some of these things like the play mats I get, I sell them on eBay. And that was the thing about the Warhammer 40K. It didn't do well for me. On eBay, it did great, but I lost a lot of money on eBay. So I won't make that same mistake twice. Like I said, I couldn't find the niche. I tried, Discords. I tried Facebook. I'm just a small YouTuber. I'm a no name. I'm a nobody, right? 354 subscribers. Nobody knows who I am. So I get it. It's a trust thing. I try to, hey, you can DM me, you can do whatever. You can call me. We can talk. Just to try to build some rapport, like, hey, I'm a trustworthy person. I will say a huge shout out to the Palworld Discord. They've been awesome. I've chatted with a lot of those folks. They're really awesome. They've been really supportive of me. So for any of those Palworld that have subscribed to me, thank you so much. I appreciate your support, and I wish I could support y'all more with more product, but I got 2 cases, and I wish y'all the best tomorrow, and I get them in, and I get them listed sometime in the afternoon, or sometime in the evening. It just depends when the UPS man decides to show up. I'm going to pull up some of the data just to kind of talk about what I'm talking about with create our own demons. So, today, 184, 189, 179, 189, 180, 189, 180. It's been pretty consistent with that all day today. So, like I said, it was weird. Saw it this morning, 181, and now it's at 190. I guarantee you, I won't say that. I would speculate, in my opinion, that tomorrow the Japanese price will go back up. If it hasn't already gone up. If it goes back down, I'd be shocked. I would be truthfully shocked, but I just don't see that happening. As I said, this is at 190. I would say their price is going to be about 160 a box, maybe 160 a box, 163. You know, they come pretty close to us. Like it's a it really is a small margin. When you factor in the, you know, let's do this real quick. We'll pull up the old calculator, right? So if I do 160 plus 15%, right? Because the tariff, why did I do that? Oops, I hit the wrong button. I'm just going to use this for an example, right? So 160 plus 15, where's my percent sign? Percent. Why does it keep on doing that? I am not doing a great job of this right now. 160 plus 15%. I am doing right. 160 plus 24. Why is it doing that? 160 plus 24. So you're looking at like $184, right? That's a tariff and admin fees around 15%. So the Japanese went up. The tariff went from 10 to 12.5 from my understanding, and you have to pay an admin fee. So right now, and that's not including shipping, right? And it's most places you have to have a minimum of 6 boxes, and usually 6 boxes. So we'll do 184 times 6. All right, that's your number. Shipping, let's say 6 boxes, usually around $46. Boom, divide that by 6. I'd have to sell them for $191.67 to break even. That's more than market value. That's what I'm trying to say is like, it is, unless you're buying like this huge amount in a bulk, which, you know, I'm a small guy, I can't do that. It doesn't make sense. Right now, it just doesn't make sense. But you know, there's other avenues. Like I said, I'm kind of waiting. I just don't feel people, in my opinion, would want to pay MSRP English price for a Japanese booster box. I'm going to get off that soapbox now. It gets me a little frustrated. But other than that, you know, 30th anniversary, got my allocations. I'm very happy. Like, again, still wish I can give you more. You know, I get what I get, and I don't pitch a fit. But things are getting better. Things are going up, and the uptick every quarter. You know, more spin every quarter equals more Pokemon every quarter. So I'm excited for that. I really am, and that comes from y'all, and I appreciate it. But other than that, I wish y'all nothing the best. I hope you have a great Wednesday night. Until next time, 904 out.